Hi guys, welcome back. It is the first month of the new year, and instead of resolutions, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I watched this YouTuber recently that talked about replacing resolutions with what he calls themes. A lot of people do resolutions or goals for the year, and the problem with that can be is that they often are tied to implied obligations. It means that when we don't meet those goals, we often feel unsuccessful, unaccomplished, and like a failure. It's okay to set goals, but I feel like people often forget about the in-between and the process and the trying that it takes to meet those goals, and they're only focused on the end result. I know me personally, I struggle with that, and I struggled a lot with it in 2024, especially as I was going through a bunch of different life changes and I didn't really feel like I was accomplishing anything despite all my efforts to try. And so I like this idea of themes. So basically, instead of saying, I will read X amount of books this year, you would say, I will read more books this year, or I will learn a new hobby. Instead of putting a number on it, or a hard deadline, a hard count on your accomplishments, because when we do that, we risk burning out. We lose motivation, and as I said, we feel like a failure. And we don't want to do that, right? That's not really the point of making these resolutions. It's not the point of looking at the year as a whole new year to start anew. I think the most important part is that we make strides, we make movements to bettering our lives, and we never stop. Even whenever things get hard and we don't meet the necessary goals that we expected of ourselves, the point is that we keep moving. We keep moving forward, keep that ball rolling. And now for the fun part. I want to talk about what I plan to do for my New Year's theme. And my 2025 will be filled with 12 seasons or months of different things I want to try to do to better myself. Every month I'm going to try to make a new video where I explain my theme, what it was revolved around, inspired by, and what I did that month. I'm hoping this will keep me accountable, make it a fun way for me to actually do the things I set out to do. But of course, in the end, I'm not going to be hard on myself for it. I'm going to do the best that I can. And it's not too late. You can do this journey with me. Think of it as a fun way to jumpstart your life again. So our first season is inspired by the butterfly, symbolizing new beginnings and getting started. So what does that mean for me and my life? All of January, I strived to just start something. That was the goal. I didn't have to finish anything, but I wanted to start something. A lot of things in my mind that I've been saying, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and haven't done it. The whole idea is that I should just start it. It is important to initiate the process. We may think it's going to be hard, but I've always said that once you get started, that's really the hardest part. So the way I did this is I wrote down a list of things that I wanted to start, and then I checked them off as I went along. But first, I will talk about the things that I did not start, so that way we can end on a good note. So one of my goals was to start coding again and using boot.dev. I did a little bit of boot.dev last year, enough to finish a whole Python course. I really liked it, but it was very hard for me, and it was one of those things that didn't come naturally. So yes, I had to work toward it, but I came out of it not fully feeling like I fully learned what I should have. So I had been wanting to start over, do it again, do the same course again, and hopefully then from there I could take on more courses with Boot. And I didn't really get to start that because I knew that next month I was kind of planning to be a little bit more busy. Spoiler alert. So I didn't really want to start something that I would have to stop in the middle of, at least something like this. But it was keeping it in my mind, and hopefully I will get to start that soon. I wanted to start looking into running a Shadowrun campaign. I wanted to DM this for a group of friends. And I didn't start this because I'm kind of nervous about it, to be honest. We already have another campaign running where somebody else DMs it, and I'm just worried I'm not going to be a good DM. It's also a whole new system to learn when I'm already learning another system, and so I've been putting it off for months, truth be told, and I still want to do it, but I don't know if this was the right time. And the third thing that I didn't complete was more kind of an interpersonal life goal, and that was just to start saving money again. which I kind of have started, but to the amount that I would like to, I would say no. I did not complete this goal. The holidays were just a lot, but it will come. We'll get that promotion, we'll pay those bills, and we'll start saving again soon. And now for the good stuff. I actually completed a lot more things on my list than I initially expected going into this. So let's talk about those. Start making YouTube videos again. Well, here we are. I've already done 2 this month, and this one I plan to hopefully get out to you guys by the end of January. By this Friday. That's about 5 days from now. So I would say so far, I think I've done pretty good on that. Let's see if we can keep going at it. I wanted to also start calling shops and applying for places that I could display or sell my art. This one, I didn't get to as many applications as I had hoped, but I did put in a big one in my local area, and I haven't heard back yet, but I threw it out there. 2 more that I did complete as far as starting, but I will admit I didn't get super far, and that is to start writing again and to start an Etsy shop. So I technically have started my Etsy shop, and it's been up for a few months, but I haven't fully advertised it because I'm still working on getting items in there. So I would say Etsy's not finished. I'm not gonna fully make a big deal of it until it's where I need it to be. But I did start the process, and I also started an ArtStation account so I can start logging my art portfolio there. As far as writing again, I've done a little bit more. I mostly have been working on writing up my D&D and cyberpunk campaigns into a full story for me and my friends, and I made a little bit more progress toward that, but again, I started it but did not get as far as I had hoped. But that's the whole point, is we just start it right and see how it goes. Unfortunately, those 2 didn't get very far, but I tried, and that's all that matters, right? So 2 more things that I completed was start a weight loss challenge and start a weekly self-care night for myself. So that really just looks like me trying every day, every week to eat better and make sure I'm maintaining a consistent workout plan. I do kind of have a goal in mind of where I want to be by the end of the year, but really what I'm trying really hard to focus on with this is that I'm just maintaining consistency. That even whenever I slack off for a day or 2 days, that I jump right back into going back to the gym and eating better. So far this month, I will say I think I've done pretty good about it. Food is still a bit hard, but working out is easy because my work has a gym on site, so I can just go over lunch or right after work, and it makes it easy for me. I also know a few people at work that are willing to be workout buddies, and that also helps. And then my weekly self-care night, I actually got this idea from a coworker, and I thought it was so cute. So basically she sets aside 1 night a week where she'll put on a full hair mask, a full face mask, paint her hair, paint her nails, paint her toes. She'll watch a show that she really likes, eat one of her favorite foods, just have a full night to herself. And I really like this idea. Mine, I will say, is gonna look very similar to that, but it'll also be a bit different. So I have started this by going to a boxing class. I wanted to kind of tie that into my goal for maintaining workout and being healthier. And I think it will be really fun. So I plan to do that in the evenings, either by myself or with some girlfriends, and then come home and kind of do something similar. And I'm very proud of these 2 things. They are probably the biggest things that I did this month, because not only did I start them, but I felt like I actually have made progress with it. Another thing I wanted to start, and this was kind of a freebie, and that was start a new game and play with friends again. I kind of already do that, but I wanted to have a more dedicated game time with friends, not just the sporadic here and there. I wanted a new game that we all get in together and we just grind and play it out. And we did do that. We tried out Vintage Story. I got a little bit back into Power World. And for my own personal sake, I started playing more of the Outer Worlds. That one's not necessarily new, but I did get to try the new DLC, and it's been really fun. I've been really enjoying it. We also got to start a TTRPG. I am playing this with my friends as well on the weekends, and it's called Eldritch Automata. It's not fully released, but the Kickstarter was a few months ago, and so us as backers got a little bit of a taste of what the game is going to be like, and we got to try out a demo session, and it was so fun. If you haven't heard of it, Eldritch Automata is literally just like, think of Eldritch horror mixed with Gundam or mech characters. And there are pilot archetypes and mech archetypes or automata archetypes, and it's a really cool system. I'm really excited to get more into it, but we'll just have to wait and see because we only got to try the demo so far. And also Vintage Story, we have been loving. We got to try this out and we've been grinding that hard on the weekends. Vintage Story supposedly was initially made as a Minecraft mod and then it got turned into its own thing. I like to think of it as eco mixed with Minecraft. It's like Minecraft on hard mode. It's like all the technical things that eco wants you to do where you start from literal Stone Age and work your way up. And there's a more rewarding and grinding process for it, but it literally has the art style and the charisma that Minecraft has in that way. I'm really liking it. It's kind of hard and I do think it needs some work, but for an indie game, I think it's great. Next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to start a new drawing or like a new piece of art. So actually like 2 years ago, one of my friends gifted me this wooden sloth for Christmas, and I knew I wanted to paint it and set it aside for some type of stream room art project. And so finally it's been sitting around and I finally got around to doing it. It's not done. It's actually going to go on a big canvas that I've already painted, and then I'm gonna have my gamer tag on the top of it, and I'm gonna add just a bunch of fun things. This one's an experiment project for sure. It's really just, I wanted these specific colors on the sloth, and then I was gonna mess around with how I do everything else. I'm making a video for it that hopefully I can post as a short or something, but I'm excited to get this done because I think I made a lot of progress with it, and I think it'll be just like a fun experiment and have it as a wall piece for my stream room, so I'm excited. Last but not least, start a new book. So I actually started 3 new books. I wouldn't necessarily say it's me and books and starting them are the best goal to have, because if I start too many, it's really hard to juggle. I think I'm actually currently at 10 books that I'm concurrently reading, like switching and bouncing between. It sounds really bad. And then I added more to that list. Crazy, I know. So hopefully I can actually start finishing them soon. But I started, as you all probably saw in my most recent book review, I started Walden by Henry David Thoreau. For all my fantasy girlies out there, I started the 3rd book of the Empyrean series, Onyx Storm. I'm only in chapter 12. Please don't spoil anything for me. And for my lazy literature book club in my Discord for like my Twitch community, I started The Man in the High Castle. This one was actually a part of a Secret Santa event we had where we all swapped names and gave each other book recs. I don't know who recommended this to me yet. I will find out in 2 days. But this was already on my to-read list, and so far it's been pretty good. I plan to watch the show after. I know that they're not fully the same, that they have the same character names, but that they don't fully align together. I really love the concept of an alternate history like that. Like, all of these types of books are up my alley, and I haven't quite made it super far in all of them, but I did start them. I had been wanting to start all of these for so long that I'm just glad I got it here, because now I know one thing about myself that I will finish, and it's a book. So I will get to them, but I will say this was another success. So I have to say, thinking about how this has been for me this month, I've found it pretty exciting. I think it's got me motivated again to be productive but not hard on myself. One thing I really struggle with is I have like this compulsive desire to be productive. Like I have a really hard time just letting myself sit, and even just watching TV to me feels like a waste of time. I have a lot of things in my head that I want to do and I want to finish, whether it's finishing books, finishing a game, doing a certain stream event, writing a story, painting a picture, starting a new hobby, spending time with the pets, doing music. I have so many things that run through my head every day of I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's always been like that, but I have noticed it about myself for a very long time. I wanted a way to satiate my desire to be productive without hurting myself and making myself think I had to complete them. So this was kind of a way for me to force myself to look at things from a different perspective, have a fresh start, and not worry about the end goal. Just start these things. Start these things I've been saying I've been wanting to start. Just start them. Just do them, and maybe the end goal will come in time. It'll come in time as I get more motivated, get more time, and I'll also kind of get a feeling for whether it was worth it. Have I been sitting on these, I want to start this for years, finally start it and realize, wow, this sucks, or wow, this wasn't worth it? I didn't want to sit here and waste time thinking about starting them and then finding out it was not what it was all cracked up to be. That I sat all this time worrying about it, saying I wanted to do it, and one, letting time get ahead of me to where it just becomes obsolete, or two, find out it just wasn't for me and I wasted all this time thinking it was a priority. I would say it was also a little bit of a risk because something like start making YouTube videos again, that almost becomes an obligation to something that takes a little bit more creative feeling. But I will say I needed this push. Can I say that this will be maintained for the whole year? Who knows? Who knows? Because next month we're going to change it up. But the important part was that I got started, that I initiated the conversation with myself about what is a priority, what are some things I've been wanting to do, can I do them? Can I just do them? Start them? But all that to say, that is where we begin. You can feel free to join me on this journey too. What do your seasons of 2025 look like? Is there anything this year that you would like to do better for yourself? Whatever they are, don't be too scared to do them. The important part to doing anything is just starting it. Next month, I'll try to keep you updated on what I have in store for February. I will probably drop these at the end of the month as a bit of a reflection, journal, seasonal diary. And by then, if you have decided to come along for this ride, feel free to tell me all about it. Write to me in the comments below what is one thing you would like to do this year to change your life. Remember, a change can be a small change, any change. Thank you guys for letting me share my accomplishments this month. I hope that it helps some of you get inspired for how you can have a new outlook on your year. Here's to 2025 and a better you. Thank you guys for watching, and see you again soon.